Now lunch break.
Is my content good enough? Will people like my opinions? If we start with silly things, it's okay, it's already silly. They don't have to worry about coming up with their own content or coming up with quality content. They can focus more on practicing speaking and building those skills so later, right, they can give good content. Okay, and it's we're going to focus on fluency, not form, okay? So today for these activities, I'm not worried that students speak in a grammatically correct or perfect way, okay? Because that's another thing students worry about. Am I correct? Okay, and absolutely there's a time and place for accuracy grammar. However, if we're just trying to get their confidence up, we know our students are going to make mistakes. As long as they are understood, I let the mistakes go. All right. Dumpty sat on a wall. Humpty Dumpty had a great fall. All the king's horses and all the king's men couldn't put Humpty together again. Okay? Now, with this activity, I want students to do it dramatically. So I might get up here and act it out, right? Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall. Humpty Dumpty had a great fall. All the king's horses, all the king's men couldn't put Humpty together. Okay, so model what you want them to do. In this case, I want them to act this out, dramatize it, right? Then I would have the students do it. So I would say I'd put them in pairs and say, read the children's poem. Tell them, you do not need to understand every word. Comprehension right here is not the point, okay? In another activity maybe, but here's not the point. Okay, it's to speak and speak.
Suppose this is the wall, and he's going to sit on the wall, and he's not so big, right? Not so fat as well. Okay, so Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall. Humpty Dumpty fell. Yes, all the king's horses and all the king's men couldn't put Humpty together again.
Very good, excellent, good. So. Now, I'd like to then move on to this activity because now students have to generate their own content. They have to use their own ideas. So, they did public speaking with a silly poem. Now, they're going to be creating their own silly comments by gushing. So, I, of course, would get up here and demonstrate, which I will. So, but what this does is that back in partners, person one would gush about the photo, you will see, to person two for 60 seconds. Fluency, as they are forced to speak for 1 minute. Okay, again, we're not worrying about grammar. We're not even worrying that they're saying serious, profound things. Okay, just that they're talking. Okay, and it's meant to be silly. Okay, again, like the first one, it's meant to be not serious. So, here's the first picture. I will go, all right, first. Okay, look at this adorable dog. He's the cutest dog in all of Nepal. He's got the tika and the garland. He just ate a bunch of bones from the meat shop. He is looking with his nice brown eyes. His head is to the side. It looks like he's begging for more food. And look at his fur. His fur, it's so soft and white and brown. And I wish that I could take him home and give him a big hug. I think he is the best good boy in all of the world. Okay, I bet you he never barks. He never keeps anyone up.
Stomach is full of dal bhat. So in Nepali culture there is dal bhat. Dal and bhat is Nepali word and it came from the Sanskrit and as well as Nepali word. The dal bhat is said in Nepal in different culture. Like there was a history. Dal and bhat is always eaten in the morning, not in the evening. In the evening, there is a system eating bread and other bread, like different types of other breads are there. So dal bhat is our culture, and it is started from Eastern culture in the philosophy, what we say, what do we call Kirat culture, especially from the Kirat culture, and our civilization from the Sindhu culture. So we can see this all dal bhat. it can cause cancer. So having more dal bhat is dangerous for life. So always have varieties of food. So we can have dal bhat. There are the various types of rice. You can cook. You can mix with the salad or vegetables, and you can mix with and you can have. But you should have in a little amount, not more.
Proper amount.
So dal bhat is our culture, but we can make in a scientific way. So we can make our life healthy. There are various rules having dal bhat. In the morning, not in the daytime, not in the evening, but between 9 to 12 o'clock, dal bhat, and we can have our rice in our stomach. Thank you.
Newly fresh person passed the teacher service commission and appointed adult teachers and sent to the school, but there is no provisions of teacher training and teacher education for us. Means not only
kindergarten to elementary and high school, and teacher university, one of the oldest university in Finland. And Finland is known for one of the best education centers there, and their service business is fantastic. So one of the common question that I asked almost all the principal all the way from kindergarten to university is that what is your biggest challenge? Because me working in education for about 40 years now, I do have some challenges as a Nepali educator here working in Nepal. So almost all the principals and the leaders have the same answer. The biggest challenge that they have is the fund management, money management, financial management. None of the principal told me their biggest challenge is to manage the teacher. Okay. So if you ask me, or any for that matter, any principal in this hall, what is your biggest challenge? They will, 99% will say is the teacher management. I'm sorry to say, our teachers not prepared to go inside the classroom. We are not preparing, equipped with the knowledge and the skills and an attitude to be with the kids. We are failing somewhere. It's the time that we have to review. And that's why schools like I come from Premier International Continuing School, the continuous professional development is a core structure of our school timetable. We have to prepare the teachers. I wish that our teachers had come to the school with at least for some basic knowledge and skills, so that we can brush up there based on your school philosophy and principle. You can always prepare, because each unit of the school is different. They have their own DNA, they have their own culture. But then if the teachers enter the school with a level of preparedness has, at least have the basic levels, then we can always brush up. It's a continuous process of learning. None of the university will prepare you for what is going to come, in 10 years' time. We were never prepared for how the COVID is going to hit in our classroom. What are the skills and knowledge we need to be imparted to face a situation like COVID, because it forced on us to develop that new skills. But then at least we need to have the basic knowledge and skills to start with somewhere. And I'm sorry to say that our teachers' education program has failed on that. So that's why sometimes what we feel as school principal, I don't think we are really running school. And then, we are in fact simultaneously, parallelly, running teachers' education centers. But it's true also, because the teachers are prepared, not in the university. They are prepared, in fact, long time before they pass out their school level education. It begins in your nursing. It begins when you are learning in school, when you are doing your high school degree. That's the time you develop that skills that will prepare you to be successful in whatever the job, not only in education field, not only as a teacher. So that's why if you ask me as the school director, what will be your criteria? I will not look at your, university degree. If I have to hire a teacher, I'll always look at your high school degree, because that's the basic of your whatever you do, whether you work in the banks or you work in education sector. So going back to your question that what is the level of with preparedness.
Three crucial matters will be addressed by the universities, and we can have a better, best qualified teacher can be entered in the classroom. Thank you very much.
Is there anything to add, Surendra sir, apart from Sudham sir's idea?
Thank you, sir. I agree with him. Some additional part is just we are habituated to teach and learn just to pass, not to do. And same thing, what Sudhama sir expressed. And I want to add some more about our new appointed teachers. We need to make them more competent than us, because they are the upgrowing educators for our community. So most of the new professionals are competent in content matter, pedagogy, ICT matter, like that. Only that competency not sufficient in school. They have to pay attention in building good relations, social relationship. That is the one of the most essential part of the teacher. And there is the gap in new generation and old generation, and newcomers do not like to work in group, and they want to solve their problem themselves. So they should have social adjustment. That is the gap. That is also, I think, essential competency for teachers.
Thank you.
sir.
Just a leading question for you. Being a leader of working with NNTA's Teacher Association, can NNTA work with university to produce better teachers, and how?
Thank you, sir. Yes, sir raised my that professional career also. I'm working as a central committee member of NNTA, Nepal National Teachers Association. We are not doing like that, but now also we are doing such collaboration with EI, Education International. Education International here in Nepal, we have 3 organizations involved in EI, NTA, NNTA, and ISTU, and we are conducting different types of these kinds of trainings among the teachers. And after that training, we are doing agreement with the local government to strengthen the capacity of the teachers in local level. That is a practice, and if we discuss on it, we can coordinate, we can work with university also, because NNTA is the larger organization, includes about 90,000 teachers, so we can work within the country. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Moving to Pavitra ma'am.
Ashok sir mentioned that 8 competency mentioned by the Minister of Education. Why not 5? Why not 12 for that matter? Why we are hanging with 8 competency? This is already structured. This is the mindset that it's drawing us, back. We in the course of the content in the teachers' education. Okay, what are the 8 components? 8 components. Maybe Lok Seva mein the question aune wala, the bhogni wala, the likhne wala. Okay, by the time you know by heart 8 competency, what are those, and definition of all those competency, the world will require another kind of competency. Okay, that is how we are lacking behind the era. The world is moving forward, and by the time they hand down our used clothes and used, ideas, the world is already changed. So the structure of our teachers' training also need to have open-mindedness. Let's not confine our knowledge and skills and the way we think within that 8 competency, okay, 8 mindset. The definition of those competency. You don't know what kind of competency we need, 5 years down the road. Forget about the 10 years. By the way, you graduate as the, confident and you're trained and you wear that graduation hat, you are already outdated. So that's why we really need model, the way we prepare our teachers, if we really want to have global education in Nepal. So we need to, there has to be the shift of mind, mind shift in the way we structure our teachers' training. Look at this, the SEL. The problem that's arising in the school, in the classroom. Look at the special needs children arriving in the classroom. Gone are the days, to 20 years back, 30 years back, there used to be hardly 2 or 3 children who used to have such kind of problem. These days, in one classroom, you will see at least 2 to 3 children in average with special needs. Is our training, preparing the teachers to have that differentiating learning inside the classroom? Are we sensitive enough to do the inclusive education within that general classroom? Are we having, are we giving our children, the teachers, the knowledge and imparting with the skills to, adjust the, differentiating learning in the classroom? Are we really equipping our children to respect the child rights, human rights inside the classroom, inclusive education, and the social, justice inside the classroom? Are we doing that? Are we really imparting that skills and the values and the principle that a teacher needs to have before entering the classroom? These are the things that we are teaching in the classroom now, in the school, to the teacher. Simple thing like, as a practitioner, let me share. Simple things like, you cannot name a child with a mote, kale, dokse, dalle, mote, nepte, hepte. You can't. And you can't make, fun of someone's mother tongue, L1 interference into L2. You need to respect, you're all a language teacher. And we make fun of, students by giving the Newari children coming with T and Limbu, kid coming with A in their language, or the mother coming with another T. We make fun. So look at them recently the mass media that's going on with, a group of people, the mass, media people making fun of the Newari tone in the Nepali song. That's also Nepali song, come on. And we all know that your L1 always interferes L2. Okay, so look at in practice that we are making fun of the kids, making fun of the people, making fun of the speakers who cannot pronounce or who have, by default with their, software that downloaded before they learn foreign language. So are we keeping our teachers? Are our teachers really doing the social justice inside the classroom, in the school? That is a big question. Demographics have changed a lot in Nepal. If you look at in classroom, look at the number of student diversity that you're receiving in the classroom. Are we really equipping training changing the mindset of our teacher before entering, going in contact with the kids with the mindset that you need to be open-minded? So that's why I'm saying, in my opinion, I'm sorry that if I'm too sorry, we really have to, it has to reflect in our teacher training component too. We cannot close with 8 components or 5 components or 12 components. We need to prepare our teacher in a way that we don't know what's coming up tomorrow. We have to prepare for open-ended, environment. We have to, prepare for the world that we haven't seen.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And
Well, I'm a practitioner. Okay, you're academics. Now, we need to have a good partnership, definitely. Okay, I'm in favor of, I'm in a strong, with the opinion that we need to have a strong basis of principles, theories.
develop the morale for the teacher and the uncertain and protect the uncertain future. Over to you.
Thank you, sir. Very important question you have asked to me. First of all, to boost up morale of teachers, we have to do different type of activities. Stakeholders should concern on that. First of all, I think recognize and appreciate them, their effort, their hard work, what they are implementing in the classrooms and hard working. And secondary, I think provide professional growth opportunities. We have to provide our teachers, educators, different types of professional platforms, conferences, workshops, international exchanges, other relevant professional opportunities we can provide them. Similarly, we can also improve work-life balance to the educators. That is one major issue in our context. Similarly, create a supportive work environment. We have to make them supportive environment in this context. Similarly, I think offer incentives and benefits through the local level or provincial level or other stakeholders may offer the teachers, educators to boost up their morale and incentives. Recently, I talked about Bharatpur Metro City. They have provided the teachers residential allowance. I think it can also be a boost up concept to the educators. Similarly, we can also involve teachers in decision-making process. While our teachers, educators will involve in decision-making process, it can also increase our teachers' morality. Similarly, we can also award and reward to them to boost up their morality. So there is the context. Teaching is a very unnecessary job. Somebody thinking that last alternative is teaching. Somebody had, but we have to.
Sorry to be chipping in between.
Sorry.
How can you make it first alternative?
Sorry. Most of the university graduates think about first in present scenario. First of all, they want to go to abroad. Secondary, they want to have a Nizamati or other professions. Similarly, last phase, somebody wants to have a teaching profession. That is the present bitter reality of our context. But we have to motivate our teachers, educators, head teachers, and stakeholders through different types of activities. Teaching is a priority based job. We have to make them very honored. They have to choose. We have to make them choose a teaching profession as a best profession. So I think we have to boost up teachers in this way, and we can encourage them effectively.
Thank you. Surendra sir, without repeating any ideas from Sudham sir.
Okay, thank you, sir. We know and we are facing teaching is a challenging job. But in my life, I never thought any other profession. I just started my teaching profession just after my SLC because I need to do anything or any job for my higher studies. Just after my SLC, I started this job and I feel proud to be a teacher. I feel proud. And I never thought any profession till now. And somewhere, some of the people blame us, teachers are cheaters, teachers cheat like this, that. Just I want to share one memory before 3 or 4 days. I want to share it in Nepali. म 3 दिन अगाडि एकजना मेरो आफन्त बित्नु भएको ठाउँमा गएको थिएँ। यस्तै कुराकानी हुँदै थियो। बिहान 9 बजे पुगेको थिएँ। एकजना मेरो अङ्कल समानको मान्छेले चाहिँ तिम्रो टिचर ठग यस्तै यस्तै शब्द भन्नुभयो। त्यहाँ मैले सुनेर मात्रै फर्केको भएदेखि उहाँमा त्यो चाहिँ दम्मता बढ्दै जान्थ्यो। मैले यसो चियाखान्जेल सोचे विचार गरेँ। उहाँलाई शिष्ट भाषाले केही भन्नुपर्छ भन्ने लाग्यो। उहाँको छोरा नै पनि टिचर थिए। हजुरको चुलो कसरी बल्छ भनेर सोधे। छोराले कमार ल्याएर बोल्छ। अनि तपाईले अघि न बोल्नु भएको शब्द के हो? होला कोही एउटा पार्टिकुलर व्यक्तिले काहीँ ठगी गर्यो होला, टिचरको नाममा अर्को पेशा गर्यो होला, खेताला शिक्षक राख्यो होला। तर म आफूलाई दावा गर्छु म मेरो पेशामा सधैँ कर्तव्यनिष्ठ भएर काम गरेको छु। म आज 9 बजे यहाँ आइपुग्दाखेरि 3 पिरियड पढाएर आएको छु। त्यो दिन बिदाको दिन थियो। इभन बिदाको दिन थियो, म 3 पिरियड पढाएर आएको छु। दोहोर्याएर यस्तो कुरो कुनै समाजमा गर्नुभयो भने तपाईलाई हामीले सार्वजनिक बेइज्जती गर्नुपर्ने हुन सक्छ भनेर मैले राखेपछि उहाँले एक शब्द पनि रिप्लाई गर्न सक्नु। सो we have to be proud in our profession and we have to we have to do our professions elaboration or discussion everywhere. त्यस्तो भन्ने बेलामा हामी चाहिँ हो हामी ठगै हौँ भनेर हिँड्यौँ भनेदेखि it is not better for us. So we have to inspire our coming generation, because teaching is a challenging job. It is a psychological work, and we should motivate about 60 to 65 students in a class. It is not easy, even though we are doing that. And I'm thinking it is possible only by the motivation. If we take all our students in our grip, and if we motivate them, we can do it easily, and we can we are running our life just from this profession. I am here just by being a teacher, so I feel proud. We have to do challenging any challenges of the profession coming days too.
Thank you, sir. Pavitra.
My simple answer to that is you take care of the teachers and teachers will take care of the students and your future.
Right, true. Well said.
You prepare beautiful buildings, give all the resources, good furniture, good facilities, and if your teachers are paid peanut, you'll get monkeys. You'll not get teachers.
Right.
That's for sure. Okay. So that has to be the mindset of every administrator, especially master. Okay. It has to be first choice, but how? Because master only the master will suru bhako ni ta hamro ta. हैन मास्टरसँग बिहा गरेर मैले बिहा गर्दा मास्टरसँग बिहा गरेछ भन्नु थियो हैन because I belong to Laure community and then कम से कम एउटा लौरेसँग गएको छोरीले दुःख पाउँदैन थियो so it took me years to change that mindset हैन however my dad was very proud that I was a teacher. Okay, and when I first said that I want to go and teach, and I came, oh, you want to teach? That's wonderful, Tony. Whatever you have decided, But when it came about my marriage, and there's a master, okay? So that's what. So how the teaching, becomes the first choice of, see, money has power, okay? The money is nothing in life. No, it has so much, Your well-being, your peace of mind, your children education, your comfort in house, the way you want to present and what you are going to write is going to decide about how much you're going to earn. So how much are we giving to our teachers? Okay, why should teachers need to be paid lesser than anybody else? We proudly say, at least in Premier, our PYP teachers, so the primary teachers, are paid better than any branch, manager of the bank. And we aim to have, and it's growing like anything. That's why, some people, in mass media, lutera gacha, parents go paisa, very expensive school. The process of educating the children itself is very, very expensive. We want to have cheap, education, and we want to pay all cheap money to our teachers, and we expect to have beautiful, wonderful country with wonderful human resource market. No, it's not going to happen. Okay, the factory, the production, I take back that word, not factory, the making of that human, quality life begins in your kindergarten. So what kind of working environment are we providing to our teachers? What kind of, life support are we, and then, social security supports are we providing our teachers? What kind of, self-development are we providing our teachers? What kind of support the state is giving to provide those kind of security to our teachers? When we went to Finland, I just shared, the teachers are one of the first choice of the, profession. They're so proud to be teachers. That's why, when they get inside the school, the principal doesn't need to, manage them. Because the teaching, it begins with here, not here. This is secondary. You have to have the heart of the teacher. But then, having said that, it takes years to make a matured and, veteran teacher. That's why especially the administrator, the coordinators, the principal need to exercise a huge level of, very huge level of patience to support, to mentor that novice teacher one day to become, a very veteran teacher. I tell you my, story. I always wanted to be a teacher, like you. I always wanted to be a teacher. So what could, 10th grader, is possible to, get when you are in gap year? So you were sent to the kindergarten. So I went to the kindergarten nursery class. At the end of the day, I said, I'm not going to be back. Because it's so horrible experience. It was my dad who said that you have promised the school, honey, you got to go back to the, you have to fulfill your promise. And I'm so glad that my dad said that to me. And here I am, running one of the most successful teachers training center in Nepal. Okay, a very successful school, IB International, IB Continuum School in Nepal. We are very proud of the institution we have been able to provide, and thousands of teachers that we have supported and, being able to produce and, give back to our country, our society. But, it all begins with that, should I or should I not? The honeymoon, days when it gets over, the teacher starts disappearing. There where we the veteran teachers need to do a lot of mentoring, lot of support, lot of encouragement, and then one day they will also be able to sit like this and tell that, it is a golden job. It's
Thank you.
It's a job. It's more than what the money can, offer. But of course, if we want to retain and attract the new talents, we need to have the best of the best talents in education, and it all begins
with a little time difference, but almost at the same period of language teaching or whatever, education. When we were in the school, we had to learn grammar and translation. But when we came to Butwal and joined intermediate education to be English teachers, then the first thing we were told to avoid grammar translation. Okay? And we were taught
stress in the correct syllable. However, we had some strategies to be in that community. So we had some colleagues who helped us. We also formed groups to learn English, and also we grew into the teacherhood. So that was the entry to the teacherhood. Now, a few more,
Yes.
and then the third one.
Yes.
It's just a read, we will not elaborate. Go ahead.
Okay. Now, by this time, we had passed our bachelor's degree. We were already known as teachers. We wouldn't go into looks about anything. Okay? So we were English teachers. Then we went to master's and beyond. And there we have something about alternative methods period. Okay? So community language teaching was advancing as a panacea for all ills in the language classroom. So language learning and teaching. It could kill treat any disease. And alongside, there are alternative medicines already in the market. What were the alternative medicines? The Silent Way by Gattagno, Researchopedia, okay? With a lot of things, Russian psychology and Raj Yoga, many things put together. And then community language learning, and then this I think Aisher's total physical response, TPR, and then Crasson's natural approach. So these are the things that we were exposed to, perhaps only in knowledge.
Yeah. But that helped to
Yes.
develop a little more attachment to English language. And also both of us explored the opportunities, how we can grow professionally, both in terms of English language learning and also the ESL pedagogy. So we joined Linguistic Society of Nepal, NELTA participation. So that was the time we made an investment into it. So Norton 1995 talks about the investment in education. So there is a role model for both of us. He is the one, Mishra sir, who taught us English in English for college back in 1984 or somewhere in Butwal campus. So we wanted to become like him.
Yeah, what do you want to be in your future? I want to be like Mr. Sir. That was something we said.
Chandrasar Mishra sir. Yes, that's true.
Yes. And then, with this investment, with this experience now, we moved on. And what happened was we moved on from school teaching to higher education, particularly teacher education.
Then we both of us received a scholarship to study in the UK, supported by the British Council.
And Hornby.
Hornby scholarship.
Yeah.
And when we returned from there, we wanted to contribute to the community of practice. Project 3 is, the alternative method period. So no more method, but rather than teachers create their own pedagogy, own teaching style, they need to be creative, eclectic approach, and lots of references there. So bilingualism, multilingualism, children with disabilities, addressing the classroom diversities, and also that was the beginning of the use of ICT in education and also in English education. So that was the space.
Yes, this use of ICT, digital resources, everything actually helped Mishra and Kohler to develop the TPAC framework. I would invite somebody to read these words. Anybody would like to shout out?
The first word.
Yes, sir.
Pedagogy.
Pedagogy, andragogy, pedagogy, metagogy, pedagogy, pedagogy, cybergogy. Okay. How many gojis are there?
There are many gojis.
Six gojis are there. Right?
Mouthology?
Mouthology. Okay. You can add more.
Okay.
Just for those colleagues' benefit, just in case you need a quick, terminology clarity.
Yes.
Pedagogy.
Going through these
Pedagogy is teaching something, yes? Helping others learn. Andragogy? The difference between pedagogy and andragogy is, in pedagogy, you teach children. In andragogy, you teach adults.
In heutagogy, you teach yourself. Self-directed.
Yes, learning by oneself for oneself. Heutagogy. Metagogy is learning in the classroom, not just there. Learning outside, learning in social spheres, learning from relations, from ecology, anything. So you learn. It is an overarching term for all the learning possibilities, learning resources that you can have. Metagogy. Meta is higher. And?
Cybergogy.
No, peergogy.
Peergogy.
Yes. Learning from peers, friends, anybody. Okay? Learning from others. And now, cybergogy is all virtual learning.
Yeah, and the list is not exhaustive and comprehensive.
Yes.
There are more. I think the list will grow.
Yes.
So this we is not Lakshman sir and me. This we is inclusive of all of us.
Yes.
Because you have also been through.
Okay? To the new situation. Okay? Adapt and adopt. So embrace the change and uncertainty. So it becomes easy for you to live, okay, as a teacher. Activate the difference. Yes.
Yes, you accept the differences.
Yes.
And salayaman banaune ki differences.
Yes.
Rather than, avoiding them.
And then you learn what you need to learn. But if that becomes not useful, what do? You unlearn. And then when you have a space to learn, then you relearn. That's a Buddhist way of doing it. Okay?
And look at the big picture is, classroom, you go to the classroom, you come out of the classroom, you consult the references. Sometimes you need to distance yourself from that ethos. And then look at the big picture from the macro perspective. Then you will notice the changes around, driven by the external forces. And that will help you to navigate through that circumstances. So this is something like get off the dance floor and get onto the balcony. नाचिराखेको ठाउँमा बस्यो भने त्यही मात्रै देखिन्छ हैन कहिलेकाहीँ पार्टीमा 2-4 यसो समयपछि मान्छेहरूको गतिविधि देखेपछि you don't see what is in there on the dance floor. If you distance yourself and zoom into that kshetra, then you will see what is going on there.
You see a bigger picture.
Bigger picture.
You just step back and see. Okay? You are dancing, but if you are on the dance floor, you see just that much.
Yeah.
But you come out, maybe go to the balcony, and then see this side and this side. You see the big picture of life.
And that applies to all of us. Yes. And perseverance. Wonderful.
If we read here from P. Cairo, we are in a perfect storm. Okay? Of what? What is the storm made up of? Complexity, diversity, and uncertainty. And what do they create? They create waves. Waves are already formed. And now, the sources of the waves will lead to newer waves, and we live with them.
Right? So, if that is the case, we would like to welcome you all to that world.
Yes.
So, welcome to the new world.
Your world, our world.
Our
together.
world.
Yes.
So, we welcome to the rest of your life, right? So, we are at the crossroad and we will always be. Look at this. Do not become the hostage of the dangers of yesterday's logic. हिजो म फलानु ठाउँमा पढाउँदा यसले काम गरेको थियो, and the same will work here. That's the danger of yesterday's logic. We respect the traditional wisdom, what we have done in the past, but for the contemporary world, my yesterday's logic may not be feasible, suitable. You know, it doesn't fit in there.